usually go to my local bookstore and kind of troll their used book section. I love doing that on the weekends. Or I will borrow from my library, and I can do that on my Kindle, so it's really convenient. But I thought it'd be fun for us to kind of go through a few books that I picked up recently. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So this one over here is Quiet, The Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking by Susan Cain. And this book was recommended to me, and I believe the quote they said was literally life-changing, so of course I had to pick it up. And as someone who is a little more introverted, a lot of the time, I love going out with friends and socializing, but I definitely do still need my time to, be by myself and, do my solitary activities to recharge and really rest. So this book was really interesting to me. So the back says, the book that started the quiet revolution. At least 1/3 of the people we know are introverts. They are the ones who prefer listening to speaking, who innovate and create but dislike self-promotion, who favor working on their own over working in teams. It is to introverts, Rosa Parks, Chopin, Dr. Seuss, Steve Wozniak, that we owe many of the great contributions to society. In Quiet, Susan Cain argues that we dramatically undervalue introverts and shows how much we lose in doing so. She charts the rise of the extrovert ideal throughout the 20th century and explores how deeply it has come to permeate our culture. She also introduces us to successful introverts, from a witty, high-octane public speaker who recharges in solitude. See, there it is. After his talks, to a record-breaking salesman who quietly taps into the power of questions. Passionately argued, superbly researched, and filled with indelible stories of real people, Quiet has the power to permanently change how we see introverts, and equally important, how they see themselves. So, that sounds really interesting, and I am very interested to see if it actually is life-changing. So next is a romance book. I usually like to mix in the fiction and nonfiction, so it kind of like breaks apart the different types of reading, and fiction and nonfiction are fun in their own ways, but sometimes if you're reading just one and that's all you read for a while, it kind of like blends. So I find mixing in both kind of breaks up to both types of reading, which I like. So this is The American Roommate Experiment, a novel by Elena Armas. The back, okay, I just love those little hats. I think they're so cute. Sometimes love just needs a little inspiration. Rosie Graham has a problem, a few actually. She just quit her well-paid job to focus on her secret career as a romance writer. Oh, I love that. Only to enter a creative slump. Love that, Les. Then the ceiling of her New York apartment literally crumbles on her. She heads to her best friend Lena's empty apartment, not knowing that Lena has already lent the studio to her cousin Lucas, who Rosie has been stalking, for lack of a better word, on Instagram. To Rosie's surprise, Lucas offers to let her stay with him, at least until she can find some affordable temporary housing. Soon, Rosie discovers that Lucas is intent on coming to her rescue like a Spanish knight in shining armor. Only this one strolls around the place in a towel, has a distracting grin, an irresistible accent, and comes with a set of mad cooking skills. And when Lucas learns of Rosie's writer's block, he proposes an outrageous idea to bring back her literary muse and meet her deadline. He'll take her inspiration. Rosie has nothing to lose. Her silly online crush is totally under control. But Lucas's stay in New York has an expiration date, and 6 weeks may not be enough time for either her or her deadline. Ooh, that sounds like a fun one. And I actually read another book by Elena Armas before. I think it was called The Spanish Love Deception, and that one was a lot of fun, so I'm excited to see if I like this one too. And the next one I picked up is The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton, and this book was recommended to me as well. And when I was in the used section of the bookstore that I like to go to, I was browsing the books and kind of started chatting with another reader there, and she said if you like the League of Extraordinary Women series, then you might also like this. So of course I had to check it out. So the back says, a prim and proper lady thief must save her aunt from a crazed pirate and his dangerously charming henchman in this fantastical historical romance. I'm also a fan of historical romance, let me just say. So, Cecilia Basingthwaighte is the ideal Victorian lady. She's also a thief. Oh, what a twist. Like the other members of the Wisteria Society crime sorority, she flies around England drinking tea, blackmailing friends, and acquiring treasure by interesting means. Sure, she has a dark and dramatic past and an overbearing aunt, but all things considered, it's a pleasant existence. Until the men show up. Ned Lightbourne is a sometime assassin who is smitten with Cecilia from the moment they meet. Unfortunately, that happens to be while he's under direct orders to kill her. His employer, Captain Morvath, who possesses a Gothic abbey bristling with cannons and an unbridled hate for the world, intends to rid England of all its presumptuous women, starting with the Wisteria Society. Ned has plans of his own, but both men have made one grave mistake. Never underestimate a woman. I just ruined the punchline there. When Morvath imperils the Wisteria Society, Cecilia is forced to team up with her handsome would-be assassin to save the woman who raised her, hopefully proving once and for all that she's as much of a scoundrel as the rest of them. That also sounds like a fun one to me. So that is pretty much it for my little book show and tell today. 2 out of the 3 were recommendations, so if you have a recommendation of your own, please share them with me in the comments. I love getting book recommendations. It's so much fun. So I hope you enjoyed the little walkthrough with me today, and maybe even got a recommendation of your own. Let me know. And as always, thank you so much for being here with me today. It means so much. And I will see you very, very soon.